Hello, everyone. And before we get started, thank you for supporting and engaging in this show, whether you are listening to the whole thing, whether you're following us in one of the other ways, whether you're supporting us on Patreon, whatever you guys are doing, I really appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of this awesome project, for listening, for showing that you guys want more, and it drives me to continue putting this out and connecting with y'all. So thank you, and on into the show. Welcome to TABTA. Hello, everybody, and welcome to TABTA, the adventure behind the adventure for the 7th Valkyrie, where we watch one man go from total obscurity to maybe 7 seasons in a movie, or hopefully just have some fun and make some friends along the way. I add that last little bit because, I will not be miserable if I don't get 7 seasons in a movie. I will be totally happy at the end of this 7th Valkyrie journey, no matter what happens, because it's just it's something that I set my heart to, and in the past year or so, we've really ramped it up. This has been 10 years in the making to get to this point where every week I'm getting to talk to you guys, sharing the 7th Valkyrie, and it was all kind of built around this series. I adjusted and tweaked, but at no point did I ever step away from this, epic project that I was working on. And I have consolidated it down because I wanted to finish it before I was 65. And the idea of infinity projects are no longer quite so interesting. There was a time where they were. I loved the idea that I could just start writing something and it would never be done because I had really bad, I don't know, I guess whatever the opposite of FOMO, death fear while going to bed. The same feeling that I would get when I didn't want to go to bed as a child because I was oh no, that's another day gone on my limited time on Earth. The idea of finishing anything was miserable to me. And so I would just I didn't want to go to bed. I didn't want to I still have problems with that, but I didn't ever want to finish the 7th Valkyrie because I couldn't handle the idea that journey would be over. It was a small version of me dying, and I really wasn't ready to deal with that. But since then, I've grown up a lot. I think I started writing this thing 12 years ago. So I'm a lot of a different person right now. I have different goals, different visions for myself. The 7th Valkyrie isn't my entire identity anymore. And it never really was, but it, for a long time, was my only dream. And to be making it every day is the reward at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's the most real I've been with you guys in a while. Yeah, hell yeah. Sometimes when I get on this microphone, I do not know what I'm going to say. And so I love getting to kind of explore that and find it with you guys. It's kind of this weird journal / diary, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, what's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on today. Biden stepped down, Harris is in, and American politics continues to be a state of total chaos. I think it would be clear to anybody based on some of the shit I've said over the course of the past, I don't know how many, every episode of my podcast and shit complaining about the political system in the U.S. And certain actors within it. And the rise of hateful right-wing fascism in the U.S. Isn't really great, and the fact that there are people who are just genuinely kind individuals who are either not genuinely kind, genuinely intending to be kind people who are either too blinded by their own self-interest, too afraid of what they've been spoon-fed by Fox, or too dumb to understand the difference. And it's amazing to me that those people vote and their vote counts, and some of them are my family, and some of them are everywhere. Fuck, I'm not gonna get into hating on people who have every human has a right to believe what they want to believe. So I won't get too deep into hating on people who I think believe in a anti-productive, regressionist lie that's been fed to them. But I understand, like at the same time as I understand that, it's sad, and it's sad that people are, believe that and, so fiercely would vote against what is like their own best interest ultimately in a lot of cases, especially for like, poor working class Americans. Yeah, so like I do feel bad, and I'm not going to dwell too much on that or hate on the people who, yeah. But what I will say is, for the first time in a long time, I'm actually pretty inspired. I didn't like the idea of fighting one demented, aging sex pest, who, with a really incredible aging elder statesman. It's just like, because it takes a lot of thought to figure out who, like, it just takes a lot of thought to decipher all that, especially if you're just, the world is so complicated and human monkey brains aren't designed to comprehend it. But so the fact that, like, because, now, I don't know, I just think that Kamala Harris is way more representative right now of the American people. Like, this dorky, super cringy at time, like, wedded mother, diverse individual, a strong working woman. God damn, it's like I'm just more excited to be behind that kind of person standing up for our freedom and for, the stopping the onslaught of authoritarian fascism than anyone else. And it's like, it's weird because, we try to pretend as people that we are all, we're just like, oh, it's all about the policies. And some people don't even try that. But yeah, it's nice to, I feel like, and this is going to be the fucking dumbest, probably the most patronizing thing I've ever said. So I hope, or it could be one of the most patronizing things I've ever said. So I hope it's not. I don't know. I question myself because being a fucking, privileged white guy, privileged in every possible way. I don't like saying this, or anytime I talk about any social dynamic, it comes with a grain of salt, because I know that my perspective is, and like the messenger is like fucking, it's like the British telling you about colonialism. But I think we can all agree that in this country, or in the American history, that two groups of people that have been absolutely shafted and continued to be like the backbone of this country in an outsized proportion to how much they've been shafted. Like, America has fucked over black people and fucked over women for hundreds of years. And so for a black woman to save America from itself would be so poetic, and is just like, the storyline feels like it's writing itself. It's like, come on, guys, like, and honestly, I'm so happy because we could, of course, an old white guy couldn't have saved the U.S. from old white men. That doesn't make sense. Like, we needed someone from the people, and obviously it's not that Kamala Harris is like speaking with the voice of all black people and all women, but it's like, this is, the people of America are an incredibly diverse, incredibly complex group of people, and it feels appropriate to me that for a moment of time where we are saying, hey, this country isn't just for the people who looked like the guys who founded it, because even they felt like they all looked different and were crazy, were super diverse in their own way. But it really, it feels symbolic and it feels appropriate to me that at least the face of this movement is somebody who is standing up, still loves that country despite every reason not to, and is willing to fight fucking hard for it, and deal with all this shit of the hardest job in the world to try to save it. And that, to me, that's the kind of thing that I can get behind. That's the kind of story that I believe in. And I hope that one day when we look back, it'll, it just fits. It really fits in terms of can we as a country say, you know what, we are not just old white people hanging on to the past. We are not like, and as a white person, I think that's a challenge for white people, for everyone, is to say, are we trying to live up to this like outdated version of America, or are we something more? And are we willing as a society? And that includes everybody. It's not just like, it's every person of every race, every color. It's like, do we believe in an America that is more progressive, that is a leader, that is not constantly just like, I don't know. This was a weird rant. I care a lot about America. I don't always talk about it, and it's been hard to, especially because the U.S. is this big fucking weird boogeyman. But I felt hope today for the first time since 2016, and it really felt good. And so, I don't know. I said this wasn't going to turn political, and then it definitely became political, but I guess I couldn't fucking help myself. It's historic times. Like, we're going to look back on this moment as either the time where America and, all that it represents as a world leader chose to be, on the right side of history, or chose to maybe end history altogether. So that seems pretty important. But anyway, I love you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. This went way too long. But thank you for listening. Hasta pronto. Thanks for listening to Breath of Fresh Air. I know that was kind of a chilled out episode after after fucking everything we went through with Nature of Predators. But oh shit, my phone. Sorry, coming, Douglas. Hey, sorry, my buddy's coming. Just showed up at the house. So talk to you guys later. Ciao.